Hello and welcome. My name's Elaine.
And my,
Introduce myself a bit as I'm into the paranormal. I've always been into the paranormal. I've always been with people who's into the paranormal and had things happen. So this type of conversation is very at home for me and I enjoy it. Today, my guest is Miles.
yeah, hello. And I'm very into, well, I used to be into the paranormal, still am into the paranormal. And then it kind of, when I did my healing work and Reiki, it kind of shifted into crafts and that. But I've always been fascinated with, ETs and paranormal stuff. Very fascinating, that is.
Mm.
Really. Yeah, so basically, I used to camp at the forest. This was all talking about years ago. And you don't really feel anything because you're 12-year-old. You don't really kind of people go there because of the UFO statue. It wasn't a UFO statue. It was just literally
Oh, the Dawson Forest. Yeah.
It was, sorry, I meant to mention first. I just carried on in default. There was literally three literally wooden poles stuck in the ground, and I was like, here's where it landed. And then I think the part of me which is like, did it land there?
Yeah.
Because knowing the Forest English, they go, it landed there, and when you then find out it didn't land there, you're like, well, why did you land? Why do you say it landed there?
Yeah.
It wasn't, and so I went there and I looked at it and I went, okay, yeah, I did a circle, and that's when the forest was actually fully like a forest, whereas now it's been partly destroyed because of felling and that.
Yeah.
So I kind of was very interested. Then I kind of started watching documentaries about the forest because my dad actually was talking to me about this because he's not believable whatsoever in the paranormal, in the UFO, couldn't care less.
Yeah.
He remembered the hurricane that hit the forest, and he remembered that when it first took off, when it hit the papers and that. And funny enough, it was my mum's friend had a newspaper where it said, this is what happened at Rendlesham Forest. And kind of stole it, so I'm going to take that. I need that. It is somewhere in my house, but knowing me, I've kind of put it somewhere safe and forgot where I put it. When I do find it, I'll post it on the Facebook group. And so that's where I kind of got slowly into, Rendlesham Forest and that. And that's when I started, listening to like Kern Holt and the main witnesses of the event. And then you have people say, was it further on that saying it didn't land there, it landed there. So I was like very one of those people like very eager because of course I want to go and see where it landed in the forest. Anyone would like to see where it landed in the forest. But then I just hit a stone wall, you see, where people are like, say it landed there, and then other people say it landed there, and I'm just like, this is so confusing. Just tell me where it landed. And I think when I then went for my first walk with you and got to know you guys, talking to Simon, he was like, well, no, it landed that site, it landed over there. The thing is that information is not available to normal people because you've got it says it landed near where Alex had that tree experience with the face.
Yes.
And he went, it's down there, further there. It landed there. That's where they brought him on the first night.
Yeah.
And I was right, but you don't actually show me a coordinates. So you show me, it's near an oak tree. And I'm like, well, there's loads of oak trees in that forest. Got to be a bit specific and tell me exactly where it landed. And so I kind of went there and had no reference. I didn't know where. I knew where I was in the forest, but I had no reference where it actually did land. And then people say it landed in Cable Green, and I went, so it didn't land in the forest, because what I was told through high school that it landed in the forest, not in the field. So I was like, so they tell you it landed in the forest, but then you're now telling me it landed in Cable Green, which is the field. It's like the Rendlesham Forest part is really confusing. And we started stargazing, and we had some very interesting experiences. And it always happens when I either start my Reiki session or after a Reiki session. And after Reiki, it's mostly after Reiki session now that I'd see something, go, oh, that's not a drone. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't, I think one video I captured is on the Facebook group,
Mm.
was basically an orb, but it was kind of moving and then dimmed out, and then it kind of dimmed back on, but like further afield. I went, it's not a drone, it's not a satellite. I went, that's kind of cool how it kind of was from there to then this point, and it then slowly on a very interesting angle went almost like it was descending into the forest. And I was like, ooh. But then before it got to the tree line, it then just literally like a light bulb just flinged off. I went, oh, that was cool. And I think honestly, this is when we were waiting in the car, waiting for you to turn up at the car park. I'm just going to do some, healing work and see what happens. So I was just doing my healing work, and halfway through in this car park between these two trees, I saw as clear as day. The way, what Kern Holt says, that eye with a blinking eyelid.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking, stood in this tree looking directly at me. And I was like, your brain kind of goes, hold a minute, is it me measuring that?
Yeah. Very easy to do, yeah.
Yeah, you have to rule it out. You don't just go straight into, oh, it's a UFO. So I was like, I'm going to rule everything out. And I was like, hold a minute, it's still there. But it was like there, but really like clear. And I just stared at it. And then I saw it disappear. And the way I can describe it, this ET just kind of stood in the window screen. I saw stars around it. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, just shocked that I saw this ET. Minding I just saw the orb. And interestingly enough, person next to me, my mum, was absolutely knocked out. She couldn't remember. I can remember what I saw. She couldn't remember. Like, the way she described it, like she was knocked out, like she was under anaesthetic.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like, I could touch her, move her, probably kick her, she still wouldn't wake up.
Oh, bless her, yeah.
But I wouldn't kick her. But I was like, I wouldn't. She was just so like, the word described, almost like you're being put under, and there's a response. And I went, well, first I was like, well, that validates what I've just seen.
Yeah.
Secondly, that was cool, but I was like, what did it do? I mean, I saw it, but then Mum can't even remember what she saw. She saw nothing. All she remembered, as soon as I turned my Reiki off, she just remembered blacking out and then waking. And then after I turned Reiki off, she then woke up again. And that was not scary, but kind of curious and going like, well, why did that happen?
Yeah.
You always think, you always like to have, people to validate what you're saying. So she didn't remember, and
it's sort of like they took over and just switched the off button, isn't it?
It was literally like something.
Yeah.
That was pretty not. It wasn't scary to me, but I was like more fascinated that.
Yeah.
Why did it happen?
Yeah.
Why did I see it, but yet that person didn't see it?
Yeah.
And I think and then we went for a couple of walks. Well, not walks, sorry, stargazing. And the one walk kind of scared me. This is like probably the only time I was scared in that forest, was when I saw the student Reiki and this fog just came out of nowhere, but it came around the car, foggy. And I was like, right, we shouldn't have fog. And it was so foggy, we couldn't really see the road where the road is to the car park. and this slow car, I mean, it was purposely going slow.
Yeah.
With, you could make out a tenor and you can make out a dish on the other side of the car. It was blacked out.
Yeah.
And you could just see this black car. It slewed down to the car park where we were, and I just got a feeling I'm going to get questioned.
Yeah.
I just got that really dread feeling from that car.
Yeah.
Slew down, it then slowly, like snail pace, got to the other side, turned around, and it just went full beam, which no full beam if you're turning around, especially into a car. And it stayed there for 5 minutes.
Full beam?
Yeah, stayed there for 5 minutes, and I was really nervous. I was like, what have I done? It's not an active base at the minute. It then turned, and then slowly, and then it stopped as to almost like, when you turn in, and then kind of picked up speeds and carried on. And I was like, that, and Mum was like, that was creepy. I was like, yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah.
In that car park. And then we got out, we were going past this house near to the airport, and the fog it's almost like someone just literally pulled a curtain, it just went.
So that's strange, isn't it? Because I know forests do produce stuff like that, but that quickly, I don't know. I'm no weather person, but that seems a bit weird.
Well, normally fog doesn't it doesn't just instantaneously. It takes a while for it to hit, and we were so like confused. Like 1 minute in fog, and 1 minute as we left the forest, the fog lifted. But the really scary, like the feeling I kind of got. Do you think the fog was there to hide us, to make us a bit blurry to this car?
Yeah, it's interesting that the vehicle turns up with a dish on it. Then all of a sudden, you see the fog turns up. What, just before it?
Fog happened before the vehicle turned up.
Yeah, now that's like a cloaking, isn't it?
Yeah, I was kind of like, I think we were hidden.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It's very interesting.
It was very interesting. I was more that. Why is there? Because you can see a black car, and you can see the antenna, and you can see a dish. And I was like, yeah, that looks very suspicious. That's not. I mean, you do have people who are radio fanatics who will have, antennas. But we're not talking a flipping dish on a black car.
Yeah.
No, that's not a normal thing to have. I'm like, I think that's a military car. Speaking to someone else about it, they then went, yeah, the military monitors a certain frequency for our normal activity, which they associate with UFOs.
Mind you just said that, didn't you? You said that the UFO and the orb, and then the car turns up with the fog. See, that's all connected, isn't it? Very much so.
Yeah, apparently Reiki practitioners have said that they've done Reiki in any forest.
Yeah.
Forest which has strange, not like a normal forest, a forest which has strange activity which is associated with UFO.
Yeah.
And they have said they haven't had fog, but they've had vehicles literally just come out of, base with antennas and dishes, and like the interesting part is they say, is where we do our Reiki session.
Yeah.
This part comes down and slows down, and they get that feeling of we're going to get questioned. But this hasn't. They've said this happened in different forests around countries and that. But this is probably the first one I've ever experienced something like that creepiness, because that did creep me out. I was like, what's the car doing what it's doing?
Yeah.
The only time I've seen that car is probably once. The most things I've seen in that forest is in the sky, to be honest with you. I mean, I think the interesting one we had was, I think I told you this quite a lot of times now. Is that helicopter one. That was like really, really fun. I like that one.
Because we do see them, don't we? When we go for a walk, we see them practicing where we presume they're practicing.
Yeah.
Who knows what they could be doing, but we always, we don't see them like all the time. We see them half the time of the walks that we do.
Yeah, yeah, because we're at night. Because I always put a telescope up, let you know I am stargazing. I am
Yeah,
stargazing. I'm not stargazing. So we saw this bright light, and I went, could be helicopter. You
yeah.
know, next to a base. I know it's deactivated, but you still
But
see.
it is.
Yeah, you still see them. And this helicopter came, and it went closer, and then it kind of turned. So I was like, oh yeah, helicopter.
Hmm.
Mum went, no, because why are the blades not moving? Someone, I think it was me or Mum, said that.
Yeah,
And we went, yeah, the blade's not moving. It was like literally a helicopter, but the blade's not moving.
yeah.
I went, we were quite close to it. We're in the car park, and this thing, helicopter, was quite close to us. And I think that's not helicopter. And I was thinking in my head, that's not helicopter.
Hmm.
That's a craft. And then all of a sudden, it changed from being a helicopter into this craft, a triangle craft. But it was only when I said, you're not a craft, you're not a helicopter, you're a craft, it then changed.
See, that's interesting. That's telepathic
Yeah,
communication. They're reading what you're both thinking, and it reacted as soon as you thought that's not a helicopter.
yeah. And then it then was this, the way it looked quite amazing actually, this triangle craft. I was quite amazed by it.
Yeah,
Um, it kind of it carried on, and it looked like for where we were, it was in the tree line.
yeah,
And then it kind of decided to kind of from the tree line to then go up, and it then changed into this further along when I was watching it into this
yeah,
ball of white, and it
yeah,
then further on you could see it into the sky.
yeah.
It moved into the sky, and it just turned off. But it turned off where the bunkers start.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, okay. That's I was like, yeah, you're not a craft. You're not a helicopter.
Yeah,
I was so fascinated how it kind of, as soon as I said it, then came a craft, and then it
yeah.
then turned into a ball.
See those, or fireballs, if you want to call it. They've been sighted all over. That's what people see. They see a massive one come down, then it splits, and then they go off different directions. So that is
Yeah.
quite interesting.
I was quite. Things that I was watching it, had my phone in my hand.
Yeah,
I never used my phone.
yeah, but you're not meant to.
Yeah, you're not meant to.
Look what they did to your mum, bless her, sitting there totally zonked out from it, not registering it. But yet you did, because obviously your Reiki put you on a higher vibration, so your brain was active and working. I don't mean that rudely, you see what I'm saying, with the higher vibration.
Yeah.
So they couldn't control you, so they showed themselves to you, and then you saw it turn in,
Yeah, when I do Reiki, my mind's just so focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm not coming from a point of view that I want to capture you and research
yeah,
your kind of attitude, or
yeah,
take a photo. Like, oh, I've got a photo of a UFO craft. I don't
yeah,
do that when I'm in Reiki. One of the sessions freaked me out. I was in a car,
yeah,
and this always happens in the car, outside in the car park,
yeah,
and this fog came, and I went, okay, it's just fog, because we know we are coming into autumn, so yeah, there's fog.
yeah.
This fog came, so there's a face, and then what really did kind of freak me out is that it came a face, and then the fog came physically moved in, and then came like a physical ET body.
That's fascinating.
So the fog kind of went like that, and then this body appeared, and then the ET stood up. It was stood up already, and then just turned and looked at me. I'll be honest with you, I was a bit fearful because I just saw this
Yeah,
fog turned into an ET, which is like, was not expecting that.
yeah,
And it turned, and I saw it, and it was tall. I mean, it had its legs bent, and it was like almost see-through,
yeah.
like through the body, and it had black eyes. And I stood there, and I felt fear, and then all of a sudden, it kind of stood backwards and vanished. but then it didn't vanish like what people say vanish. It kind of dipped back, and then this fog reappeared, and then the fog reappeared, and I was like, the things that this happened when I was literally shutting off my Reiki.
See, that's interesting. Do you reckon because people think that whatever's left behind or comes through the dimension portals, do you reckon the nature of the fog interfered with its cloaking system, shall we say, and it formed and showed through that?
I was having this conversation with my sister guide, my Pleiadian guide, and she said, "Oh, you know that." I was like, "You had that very interesting encounter with this being who just." So she said, "Oh yeah, that being picked up on your high vibration, and it's normal people, 3D people just like have 3D static. They're not awake."
Yeah.
And she said, because you're doing Reiki and going through the dimensions from a 5D being point of view, it's like there's a human being who's waking up. So it kind of came to you, and it stepped down. Because your Reiki was the same frequency, it was easy for it to kind of meet me halfway.
Yeah.
And what she said, it meet you halfway, and it came from you, from your point of view, it came physical, and it turned. And she said, I went, yeah, but I went into that kind of scare mode because I wasn't expecting it just to appear. She said, yeah, you have protocol that if a human being is scared, they don't overload the human body, so they will go back into 4D. And she said, that's what happened with you. You got scared, it then went back into 4D. And I went, that having that information, I mean, it's only when I asked them for information it came through, but this information I've got is probably 3 weeks after I had the encounter. And I was like, and I've never had that encounter again. I've seen faces, but I've never seen a physical ET being like that in the forest again. You know,
That's
mostly, yeah, it's really interesting. Mostly it's just I see it with my third eye in 4D. I don't really see them, you know, at all. I know it's I was so fascinated by it when I saw that. Yeah.
See, I've captured a little picture of an alien. Now, I keep saying this all the time, and I've been thinking all week last time I spoke to you, find this memory chip, because all my pictures are on it. Keep thinking it, and I'm so easily distracted. Guess what I haven't done?
You haven't found it?
No, I haven't looked for it. But I will find it. So at this, obviously, because I can't show proof of this little... I say invisible alien, but there's an outline. You can tell it's a little alien.
Yeah.
But obviously, so it's personal experience because I don't have the evidence to show. But one day I will find this picture. And that was up by the healing tree as you're walking down, back down to the 5 ways bit that was just there.
Wow. I mean, I'm trying to go into the Facebook group because was it someone posted of these where you, before you get to the craft in the forest, the statue, I posted a photo on the group of these, you know, 2 ET beings in the tree lines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find it now because it's always the way it just popped into my head.
So where was that then? Is that down the actual path before you turn to get to the replica, or is that walking down to the Big Dipper?
So once you turn, before you get to the UFO pub, before you get to the Big Dipper, one of those tree lines, I think was on the left in the photo, you can see what looks like 3 ET beings. One stood there, and one with a white face and black eyes.
See, that's interesting because that's where apparently I disappeared. I put it in brackets because I was there. But according to Simon and Alex, I'd completely disappeared.
I do apologise. I can't even show it, so I'm going to have to phone wise. Oh, God, my phone's horrible. Yeah, that. Someone put in the group.
Okay. I'll have to go and look at that. I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen it?
No. But But that's that bit where I disappeared, apparently.
Oh.
That's exactly around there. So that's quite interesting if there's like a time slip there or a portal or something.
That's where it is. That's cool.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Because the UFO statue is further, you have to turn, don't you, into the forest UFO statue.
Yeah.
Ooh. But that was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
But is that where you had your disappearing on that track?
I do this because I know I was there, even though some parts of it I don't recall, I don't remember. But yes, we were in that particular little bit of wood. We don't normally veer off the tracks, but this time we went in. Because I remember Simon was in front of me to the left. Alex was to the left of me, just slightly in front. I don't recall walking out of it, but I remember looking them straight on as they're walking still through the forest, which if I was looking at them dead on, it's impossible because I'd need to turn to walk level with them to see where I'm going.
Yeah.
Then this is how I remember it. Anyway, so I'm looking at them and they call. I'm saying, I'm right here. I'm right here. You know, I'm shouting at them because they were getting more louder because obviously they couldn't see me, but I still recall seeing them. But it shocked me a bit because I've never thought of it. I just think, you know, and it's only when you replay, you think, well, hold on, when did I step out from walking with them? And how can I look at them directly forward if I'm supposed to be turning the other way looking where I'm going?
Yeah.
I was literally just travelling with them. But that surprised me a bit, and it got me thinking, because I'm thinking, but I don't recall walking out of the forest, and I don't understand.
Yeah, you don't remember it.
No.
I'm going to show you another photo. This is not my photo. This is something we posted on the group. So there's two. I can't find any bad.
Yeah.
There's two little three dots. You can't really see it because it's quite.
Yeah.
My brightness turned up. Right, now it is. There's like. There is three little. There's a yellow orb, a blue orb, and a greenish orb. And the person it looked like a craft is a triangle.
Okay.
Which I posted because I have to. I don't know. I have to ask these photos, and then I get. And then the one which I had, which is a bit misty. I don't know if my camera will allow it. So there's like a little triangle thing.
Yeah.
Which I caught in the car park in Eastgate, and I was sat there in Eastgate, and I was like, "There's something there because the stones are moving." And you know, you get a feeling of like, I need to take a photo because most of the time when I take photos in the forest, I get nothing.
Yeah.
Took a photo, and then that appeared on my phone. This triangle, literally like a triangle craft, and I was like, okay. But then I took a second photo, wasn't there.
Yeah.
But it was literally in the car park, and I think I was almost next to it, but I couldn't see it in my eye. But the camera picked it up, and I was like, that is pretty cool. Yeah. And then for my Reiki too, I kind of did, looking into the forest, bit of remote viewing. That came later on when I was doing my level 1. And things a lot of people do look into the forest, but I found out that they don't post it on YouTube. There's a couple of posts of people like remote viewing the forest, but it's not, an actual documented, post. So I looked into it, and it's like, well, what actually did happen? And I looked into it, and what I got and what I've got from it was that it was basically, it wasn't a planned event. It had to happen for a reason. It wasn't an accident. It had to happen, and it had to be physical. And what I saw was military. The thing what I got very early on during this remote viewing stage was that the craft knew the military were going to be there before the military even knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So it knew before they went out into the forest and saw it. It knew beforehand.
Mm.
It was their its mission. What I got from it was it was there to install a note into the forest grid, which is
Yeah.
also known as ley lines.
Yeah.
Install something into the ley lines and to monitor the forest. It was there to do that, but I also got from the class point of view that it wasn't really interested with the military.
Mm.
To the class point of view, the military are just 3D static,
Yeah.
and and then further on, I kind of got that Colonel when that beam hit Colonel Holt.
Yeah.
Got that the reason that happened is because they were making sure that he could handle what he was seeing.
Yeah.
Overload the body because it has happened where people are seeing graphs and it just overloads. They can't cope with it. They overload and they collapse.
Okay.
To monitor them to see if they could cope what they were seeing, because our brain has to decode what we're seeing in front of us because it's not a thing which we see day to day. And I did get the feeling that if the military couldn't handle what they were seeing, it would have instantaneously all these cars would have just vanished.
Yeah.
It didn't explode. It just went into 5D, 4D, sorry, and it was, it was very what I call hyper focus, like monitoring the forest, monitoring the grid, monitoring the note. So one part went to the base, monitoring the nukes, and one part in the forest. They were monitoring the nukes not in that malicious way, that they were monitoring it in a way that when they go off, it doesn't just damage our planet, it damages the dimensions as well.
Yeah.
So they were concerned that they could be used, they weren't used, and they got the thing that they knew they weren't going to be used.
Yeah.
So that's what they were there for. And that's what I kind of picked up on. And also I picked up on is when people feel like, terminology where one witness said we touched the craft and, touched it. And you have one witness who saw a blinding white light.
Yeah.
What I got was that's just a frequency of, seeing a 5D craft in 3D. Our brains have to decode what we're seeing. And some brains energy fields can see, because the craft has to be physical in our dimensions, because, in 3D. 3D is very physical, so it had to be physical to be in this dimension. That's one of the rules of this dimensions. You have to be physical. So that's why the craft was physical, because of the dimensions of the physics. Which I'm not knowledgeable in physics whatsoever, but I got that information. I was like, oh, well, that kind of does make sense then if it was, physically what people said it was there. But I got is that it's not going to happen again. It was like, it happened for a reason, but it's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
Into the forest expecting they're going to see a craft, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are, when they go to Rendlesham, obviously because of the big story and people see science of this and that, they go in thinking, right, today I'm going to see either paranormal or I'm going to see UFO. You're not going to see it because you're expecting to see it. So you're putting yourself on overload to try and see it.
Yeah.
If you go in like, right, let's have fun, let's have a laugh, see what we're going to, see if we can, pick up on anything, feel the energies of the forest, you're going to get something.
Yeah. I mean, when I've been in the forest, obviously the forest now, for me, it's not scary now. It's kind of, I feel calm. Whereas at night, I never used to feel calm. I used to be absolutely terrified of that forest. But it was interesting that, today people are still reporting things going on in the sky, going in the forest. Most of the reports now are cryptoids being seen in the forest, craft being seen, above tree lines.
Yeah.
You do get also reports of a craft, people seeing like crafts in the woodlands, but I begin to notice that most of the reports at the minute are, more like people seeing like orbs.
Yeah.
But they say it's not like an orb, it's like a looks like a bright star, but then it does things where like a star wouldn't do.
Yeah.
You're like, no, you're not a star. Because I think people like walk in the forest, see something, go, it's a star. And then when it then does something, you're like, well, hold on a minute, you're not a star. Like when people see that it moves, it's kind of like a big giveaway to us.
Yeah.
We went to the night walk. The night walk was quite amazing. We did with me and Sam. Most things we saw yet again were in the sky.
Mm.
You hear some sort of like a sound which sounded like a Sasquatch, but we only heard it once. But it was really distant. We saw this, I'm going to say craft because they are craft, came down, it was a white one, came down and it slowed and it then changed red and bounced off.
Okay.
And then I didn't have my camera, so I couldn't record it. And then we're in, I can't remember his name, the guy with the dog. Mike.
Yeah.
He was like the Big Dipper. He was like, the Big Dipper doesn't have like an extra bit on the end, does it? And I went, no, it doesn't have an extra part on the end.
Yeah.
No, because it kept, the way he described it was like it was coming on and going off again, like a torch, flashing on and off.
Yeah.
And he went, no. And he said, well, as you were coming up, it then just turned off. I was like, oh, I've heard people seen that with constellations, but I've never actually heard, not experience it, but have someone who I know say they've seen it.
Yeah. And
then we get to the car park and we see an orb, we see another orb. It just looked like satellites coming closer. The thing what got us really hurt was that this satellite just slewed and just stopped. And this other one just went past, almost like it was giving way. As that one went past, it kind of then sped up and it flipped off.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's not a satellite. I was like, well, we were amazed. It's like, we were sitting there, and after it happened, like, how it just slowed down and let the other one go through it, and then it just flew off. I was like, that, yeah. We spent probably 20 minutes discussing how it did that in the sky. And I actually came in when I was doing the night one thing, we're not going to catch absolutely nothing. And I was proven wrong. We actually captured quite a lot of things, but mostly in the sky.
I've never, apart from my little alien that I've got to find on this film, on these pictures that I've stored, I have to find that. Apart from that, I've seen nothing like that. Mine's paranormal.
Yeah, it's always been, isn't it? It's all spirits.
Yeah, I've
different.
We done a day walk during the week on a weekday a few years ago, and as soon as we got out of the car, absolutely fine. Started nattering as we do when we meet up. Started walking down. I call it the old part of the forest. Obviously, the forest is all old, but this seems to be the slightly older part. Yeah. Anyway, went up past the barrier, and all of a sudden I thought, oh my God, my vertigo's playing up. I thought, oh my God. Oh, no. And I thought, I'll just walk it off because, I've been looking forward to this. Tried to push forward. And then I heard, Elaine. I thought, what the hell? There was this cloaked figure walking through the trees. It had called my name because I turned around. I was just like, I'm in awe of it. And it's just literally, like I say, walking through the trees. No one else saw it.
Yeah.
And my vertigo, I say vertigo, the feeling of vertigo went. And I was just so much in awe of it. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Was it a figure which was like, the way you say cloak, was it like wearing like a cloak?
Yes, like the hood and the, yeah. And that's all I saw. I just saw this person walking through. And I like stuff like that anyway. And I was just like, wow. That was impressive. I was pretty impressed with that. Because normally when the story's told, apparently I get vertigo a lot down there. I don't. That was the first time I thought I was getting vertigo. It was the same sort of thing. I was getting dizzy, but when I saw the cloak figure, it just went.
Yeah.
A lot of,
I've never in my life seen a cloak figure. I've seen a tall figure,
yeah,
but that was once. And I've seen, Sasquatch pop the head out of the tree. I've seen Sasquatch in the forest.
we've actually smelt, haven't we? And that smelled
That
bad.
was disgusting smell. That was.
Yeah, that was bad. Because it wasn't the pigs that are over the way. That was not a pig smell at all. This, that's all I can say. Because we were walking there as it was getting dusk, and I wasn't very comfortable because we were the last ones nattering as we were walking along.
Yeah.
And that smell is so dank and horrible.
Yeah. I have brightened this video up because I feel like when I talk, I need to kind of show people video. So there's somewhat of proof, and now it is. But however, I don't know if my camera is going to play nice for me. Because I'm just going to... Wait. Oh, no, I can't find the camera. I'm pointing at the screen and going, that's not the camera. You might see it, you might not.
I can't see it.
No, it's the only problem. Can I share it on here? Is it going to be nice to me?
Let's hope so.
Yeah. I mean, people to this day in this forest still see things, and it's either they're reluctant to tell you, but most people go to that forest and want to know what happened back in the past. And when that was like, is it now 50 years or something when that took place?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not, to be honest, I've seen a UFO. I've seen a round UFO floating through the sky. That's the only experience I've had. But apart from that, I live for the now, so it's whatever we go down and get. So something that happened years ago, I'm fascinated, don't get me wrong, but it's not my priority when I go there.
Yeah.
I don't know about other people, but that's just me. I'm happy-go-lucky. We go down. If we get something, we get something.
Yeah. I've put it on here. It now, just typical, isn't it? Oh, that's background. So I put it in the screen, and it now says admin needs to approve it.
Oh.
Yeah, because I can do it. You put it good, but you then have to. This little mark.
Hold on, I can't see it coming up with anything at the moment. Let me just flick through.
Can I share my screen? Yes, I can. Share my screen. Oh.
I think one of the fascinating ones down there, obviously apart from the cloaked figure, was when we went to a different part of the forest, which we need to go to.
Yeah, we definitely need to go to that part.
Yeah, and there was this. We all just stopped because we heard this bell, like I think it was like a church bell.
Yeah.
We only all heard it once. We just completely stopped. Bear in mind it's autumn, so the leaves are crispy. We all just stopped. Then all of a sudden we heard footsteps coming towards us in the crispy leaves.
Ooh.
And of course, I'm trying to get on camera once again. Nothing come out, but we all just stopped. We're all looking at each other because no one's moving. We'll just make, when you look to make sure no one is moving. Yeah. We're all looking at each other. Crunch, 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 crunch. And then they just stopped right in front of us.
Oh.
And that was. See, I'm not one of these that stand there and scream. So when I say that was really interesting, fantastic, I like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stand and go, oh my God, everyone acts different in the moment. But to me, that was fascinating. That was absolutely fascinating. And of course, we're all like mouths open looking at each other to say, did anybody hear?
Everybody see that.
Did anybody get that? And then that was a different bit that we went to, so we'll definitely have to go there again. I'm hoping that will be something similar may happen again. I'm hoping so, because anything is good, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Have you managed it yet?
It just says waiting for admin to approve.
I don't know where it's going to tell me there's waiting for something. I've looked through and I can't find anything.
I wonder if I message you. Would it? I'm messaging hi with that prompt. No, that didn't do what's.
Oh, hold on. What's this? Private chat.
That's private.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because
Yeah, I don't know.
On my screen.
It's come up on your screen.
Yeah, because when I did it last, you get like a screen here, and then you then on, where you share it, you then click the little dots, and it then says add to screen.
Little dots. No, I'm not finding nothing at the moment.
It's a bit, because I've put them into share, and then there's a little dot. I mean, I did it on my side. There was a little dot, and then you then click share, something like that. You click.
Yeah, I'm not seeing nothing, which is a shame because I'd really like to see that.
Yeah, I'll just send it over to you. I'll do that. I'll do that now before I forget, because I don't have to do it all the time. Oh, and the other thing I caught on thermal, I did caught something on thermal, was basically just walking around the forest, and I saw this person, and I went, "Oh, it's a person in the forest. Nothing unusual. You see people in the forest all the time." But this human was walking what I was saying, but I couldn't see my own eyes because the thermal was saying there was a person literally probably 3 meters where I was.
Okay.
And I went, there's not a person here. But as clear as day, I saw this person running. So really, I should have seen a person run in the line. There was no person. But the thermal camera saw it. I didn't see it. And it ran, and it kind of dodged into a tree. And then I was like, and then the tree, and I went to, go up to the tree, gone.
Is that the video that you shared on your group?
Yes, that video.
And your group name is?
I've now got to read it now. I had to call it something which was, I think it's called Paranormal Rendlesham Forest.
Yes.
I called it that.
And that video is up there for if anyone wants to view it.
It is up there. It is there. And that was the only thing I've caught on thermal. And actually, no, Tower, I did catch something else, but that was Cable Green on the road going past the farmer's field. And I just got this solid orb in the tree line, and it just was moving in the tree line.
Oh, wow.
I was like, well, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? Pretty cool. Things that I don't go to outside of Cable Green anymore.
Yeah.
I'll go into the forest and, do it there, but I should actually kind of go to Cable Green and actually do it with a thermal and see, because people say that the craft landed in Cable Green. I was like, okay, but then this is one of the confusing parts with Rendlesham Forest, which really confuses me. It's that you then got people saying, well, no, the witnesses said it landed in the forest, but people. When you read the books, it says it landed in the forest, but like on the edge of Capel Green, which is like where it must be, you
Yeah.
know, where the healing tree is on the other side. It must be there then.
Well, to be honest, that probably is true, because if a craft lands, let's face it, it's been out of space. We don't know how much radiation it's got, what is going to grow there for many, many years after it's been there.
Yeah, Colonel Holt did say that the no, it wasn't Colonel Holt. Sorry, it wasn't him. I'm not gonna. That was someone else who said that apparently that they had to cut off all the trees where it landed because of the radiation.
Okay.
And when you then ask Colonel Holt, he says, "Well, that didn't happen." So it's like, right, but a bit. Okay, so you've got one person saying this, and then they've got this witness saying, "Well, that didn't happen," kind of thing. So I'm like, so either someone is adding story to it, or it's just, you got to consider that, it's happened quite a lot of years now.
Yeah.
Anybody who kind of adds something to it is either lying or just exaggerating the story. Because that happens with that forest. You hear like stories like this is what happened, and then you do the digging, and it's like, well, no, that didn't happen, and I've kind of did the best business which I could do, but we're just going around circles with what you're just going backwards and forwards. Or this is what happened. This is what happened. The whole situation with Lowy, when that all, after Capel Green, when that all went really viral, and apparently what I heard was that basically the main witnesses at Colonel and all of that basically said he wasn't there, he wasn't at the forest at the time.
Okay.
Where you could get a jeep down to there. And really just basically shutting down his kind of, not version, but his story.
Okay.
And then we then hear that Capel Green doesn't come out because there's what one person said when they commented, so we can't release the DVD, Capel Green. And then one footage off there of people never seen full footage of, people to video the craft in the forest, but we're not talking about when the incident took place, we're talking about, afterwards, the whole incident, when it hit the news and that. Someone took a video of the craft, I remember in the documentary, took a video of the craft, what they saw in the forest, which was not what happened in the forest. And it was in the documentary, and because of that people were saying there's infighting going on, that the documentary can't be released to DVD. So it's just archived.
Oh, what a shame!
But there was footage and coordinates where it said this is where the craft landed. And I remember. Only reason I remember it because I remember there was trees cut down. They showed you a map, and I went, I know where it is now in that forest.
Oh, yeah.
But things like you can't, without it not being released, you can't kind of stay. But it didn't get released because of all this, this fighting was going on. It's just it's basically a legal mess how it all happened. So it's sad that the documentary can't be released because. When we were talking to that guy who, when he saw those ETs, the one in the house.
Oh, yes, the two young lads.
Yes, them. And he saw that, that figure.
Yes, he was actually on some interview, wasn't he, about that?
Yeah, he was in Capel Green. But now you can't see Capel Green. And I think he was in quite a lot of. He was in, I think, 2 YouTube videos or something like that. But that was interesting. I recorded that because I need this on record.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting that, but I need it on record because actually, if it's on record, then I can actually say to people, "This is what happened." That was pretty interesting. Like, if I can remember, he was walking down the track, and he saw these group of ETs, white ETs with black eyes, and they kind of all turned around, looked at him, and then turned into balls and then flew off, and he ran. I think it was him and someone else. They ran.
Yeah.
And this ball was like next to him, and then he went back home.
Yeah.
And he said his mum, because he doesn't go out at night out of his house. He said the forest is a bit creepy and that. Whereas me, it's like, oh yeah, I'd go outside and have cameras pointing everywhere.
Yeah.
He said, the forest is really creepy. And I went, yeah, bear in mind, if you lived that, every year, it would, be a bit creepy. But his mum apparently, further down the trail we was talking about, his mum on their security camera caught an orb, what kind of, in my memory served me right, kind of went into the base and then kind of hit the one way and then pinged off again, if I remember. It's very vaguely. He said he'd get his friends, and you get your mum to kind of post it on the group.
Yeah.
And I went, that would be nice. Now, either it was the base or the forest, I'm trying to remember it. It's just it's became very vague because it is on my recording somewhere. I've got to find it on the recording. But that was pretty cool what he saw. But the interesting part was,
I think that's the same person I was watching. So I watch these YouTube channels, and they were talking about orbs and that. And I am sure the angle of this security camera that caught something was this house in Mention that you're talking about.
Yeah.
With the same name as the person we're talking about. And that was on quite a famous YouTuber, because they chucked all these videos together, and I'm sure that was one of them because they were talking about it.
Yeah, you have to send me the link because I really want to see the footage, but I might contact his friend and kind of ask if I can see the footage. But the beings he saw were the beings which I saw, which was a fog, but then turned to this tall being. And I was like, and he was saying that, and I was like, I saw exactly the same thing what you saw, but I didn't see it turn into a white ball.
Yeah.
To form and disappeared.
Yeah.
I think he said there was 5 of them from memory. I'm gonna have to look back. It is on. It was on my map because his friend put it on the map, so I can get it from the map, which is on the group.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's like, for him, it's absolutely terrifying, but for me, it's like, really cool.
The people who live in that forest must see some, or hear even some real freaky noises sometimes.
I mean, he did say his mum had captured odd things. What he implied odd was, implying, craft and that, but he didn't even say craft, he said odd things.
Odd things, yeah. There's some interesting words there, isn't there?
It's like, can you go further? What you mean by odd things? I think he won't go as high out of his garden.
Yeah.
Which is, that, from that forest is kind of, it is creepy, but I'm not scared of that forest. It's different if you walk into that forest.
Yeah.
What really hacks me off is the forestry English keep changing the path names.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't understand it. Why do they do that? Because all the old schools known for what they are.
Yeah, like you know where we go down to get to the healing tree, that track, which was track 8 or something, or track 811, which has now changed track names. And I know the past, it doesn't really affect me, but when people, people talk about, track 11, track 12, and then you find out, you mean that track at that point. I went, they changed it again. But it was so nice, because I wish he came back from another walk, actually, him and his friend.
Yeah.
He had quite a lot of information.
Yeah, I was going to say that, yeah.
He just lives there.
Yeah. I must admit, I've never been down that forest. Remember when we went for a walk and we went past the barracks and that woman appeared out of nowhere jogging as it's getting dark, if you remember? No, oh my God, she gave me a heart attack.
That was weird.
That was weird. Anyway, we're walking back and I didn't realise the sun was going down as quick as it was. And I wanted to get out of there. I've never been, I don't know what it is, the feeling when that sun goes down. I just don't want to be there. And I've never been there when that sun goes down. And we were hot-footing it back to the car because I just wanted to get out of there. So I don't know what the feeling is with me being there after that, because when people say, they do or they don't like it, that's them. I like to experience it for myself.
Yeah.
But being there as the sun was going down, I was finding myself, and I do apologise because I know you were trying to keep up with me, I was finding myself getting faster even though I was absolutely knackered.
You were getting faster. I was like, I've got to keep up with me now.
And I just wanted to get back to the car. I don't know what it was, but being in that forest to me, I don't know if it's the energy changes, I don't know, but I wasn't comfortable.
But also in a forest, it's either, your eyes can't see at night. That's probably one of the reasons. But I am camping there for a week, so
that's going to be fun.
That's going to be fun.
Cameras everywhere. When you come out, you used to have cameras on
on a tripod.
Well, no, put it on like a jacket or something, just there pointing everywhere, so you look like the ultimate cameraman. on a hat as well, so it's pointing up, and just walk around. So everything's captured.
Yeah, I'm definitely putting cameras facing the sky and the forest, because we are behind one of the trails, which is one of the UFO trails what cuts in from the campsite. Yes. So I'm gonna point a camera there. I'm gonna point a camera in the sky, and if anyone comes and approaches me, be like, I'm just stargazing.
Yeah, exactly. Leave a man to his work. I'm enjoying this.
I'm not actually that camera there is not really stargazing. It's just monitoring the forest. But I might actually have a thermal camera facing the forest. Yeah. What I've noticed is there's a very common theme with Rendlesham at the minute is thermal you probably see more, whereas a normal camera you don't. Whereas, I was holding the thermal camera and I catch things. Oh, that's pretty cool. But yet I've heard people saying that they're catching things on the thermal, but yet the camera on their phone doesn't pick it up. Well, see, that's interesting because I don't know what the military have now being near to the base, but years ago they used to have red lens binoculars. Oh yeah. And they used to pick up the most strangest things. Reports, I did Google this because I saw it on one of my channels I watch, and the amount of reports that are coming through down to monsters and anything else, they actually had to change them to whatever they've got now. Because the difference was phenomenal, apparently. Is it night vision? I don't know, because I know night vision uses a red lens, doesn't it? That's what made me think of the red lenses that the military used to use on missions and training and stuff like that. Infrared, not infrared what you have on cameras. Yeah. So thermal picks up infrared heat, which is basically radiation. Yeah. And that's what that picks up on. I haven't tried a night vision camera just because I've heard from Brenda Butler and other people, don't use night vision camera because you pick up nothing. use a thermal camera. So I ended up buying a thermal camera, and
Yeah.
now what you're saying with you know, either it's a night vision camera which has got like a red overlay on it.
Yeah.
Actually, should I just kind of, you know, have one camera which is night vision
I would. I'd have a variety.
pointing into the forest,
Hmm.
and then have one pointing into the sky, because
Yeah.
you have to cover both angles here.
Yeah.
See what goes on. I might get nothing, I might get something, but I've never tried in that forest in night vision before.
At least you've tried. Yeah.
I might do that on the night walk. What I might do on the night walk
Yeah.
is, when I get a night vision camera, have it on the back. So as I'm walking, something at the back is actually recording. I know, you know, ET beings and that and craft and that are very consciously aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But, you know, if the military are picking things up, which I pretty imagine they are, because it's not an active military base, but there's military personnel stationed there.
Yeah.
One of the videos, one of the people asked her about the UFO, and I went, well, there's seen nothing in the base, it's all quiet in the forest. And I went, is that a standard line to say, or is it you have seen things but you can't say?
Yes, it's hard to trust, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they're told not to. So that's an interesting point.
And that's apparently someone said when I was talking, when we went for our last walk.
Yeah.
You couldn't make, which was quite sad actually, because you had enjoyed it, what we saw. But what was interesting enough was that we were talking about, you know, I'd love to get statements from forestry English rangers who live in that, who, you know, work in that forest on a day-to-day basis, because they would see things in that forest.
Oh, and, you know, because they're there all hours of the day, aren't they?
Yeah, they would see things all the time. It's perfect, you know, they're the perfect people to talk to about it. And she's, I can't remember her name, but she said, do you reckon that they can't say because they're under some sort of FDA no disclosure agreement, so they can't say what they're seeing?
I'd imagine so, because they're so close to that military, they must be working with them.
Yeah.
They must be under something.
They must know.
Yeah. Because you've asked for a camera to go in, haven't you? And you've been ignored over and over again.
I think I sent 5 questions to the Forestry England. Because if you don't send a question, they get fake, you know, you've broken all that kind of stuff. So I sent 5 questions for. I said, this is a wildlife camera on catching deers.
Yeah.
Nothing. I said it's going to be near the UFO trail, but really deeper into the forest.
Yeah.
And I know they give people approval, because I've seen signs says, do not go to this part, there's a wildlife camera here.
Yeah.
So I know they've given people permissions in the past. So I was waiting and waiting. This has now been 2 years now, and they have not got back to me about it. And I'm like, do you know what? I'm just, do you know what, stuff you guys. I'm just gonna, you know, work around it. You know, you walk in the forest at night, which they don't like people walking in the forest at night. The thing is that people go to the UFO statue and kind of camp there, which kind of ticks them off, which I do understand why camp there in the forest in this heat. But, you know, you have things like that, and it's really annoying, because it's like, I wish I could put a camera there, but I can't. They don't get back to me. And so it's just this kind of game you're playing with the forest.
Yeah.
You send an email and you get an automatic response, and that's it. Nothing back. And so what I was thinking, you know, considering I'm spending a whole week in that forest.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Use the time appropriately.
Because they're fine people stargaze. The only thing they don't have a problem is if you start pointing cameras at, you know, into the middle of, you know, the campsite.
Oh, yeah, I get that, yeah.
I get that, but this camera's going to be pointing at a trail into the forest. And we're talking about 10 at night. Who's going to walk down a trail at 10 o'clock at night? I mean, people do because they want to find a UFO.
Yeah.
I mean, we did have an incident when I was there, when I was first stargazing. I was like, why is there, my brain kicked in going, why is there an idiot with a laser light flashing in the forest? So I keep seeing this flash, and I was like, I know what that flash is. That's next to the UFO statue.
Yeah.
When I keep seeing this flash, why is there a flash? And we left the forest, and this ranger car was going up and down, up and down, up and down, like panicking up and down.
Yeah.
And apparently, they had reports. Someone reported to them that someone was in the forest with a laser light trying to find a UFO. So they were panicking because if it hit a craft, if it blinded a pilot, that's it. And they were very panicky. But we didn't see no police in that. But we did see the forestry car pull up to where you go into the healing tree, that track.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember the track's name, and it stayed there, and you could tell they were panicking because we saw it from East Gate very clearly that it was light, and they're like trying to find it. I mean, what I've seen in that forest, I've never told people about this because it was interesting but pretty, damn amazing. We were going past the military base. And we were looking at the window, me and my mum saw it, and all of a sudden this massive flashing white light comes out of nowhere, and this is clear sky, no clouds, no nothing, blinding white light flashes, and it did it 2 times, and we went, what the hell was that? Yeah. And this flash, because we saw it, interesting the way it started. Because I always look at the base to see if there's any, not to kind of monitor the military, but see any, unusual things going on into the forest.
Yeah, but you do that, it's natural anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, it's natural.
Yeah.
I was looking into the base, and I saw this flash, but where the flash originated from is, where the big bunkers are where they used to store the planes in now?
Yeah.
Well, the flash came from in that forest.
Okay.
So I saw the flash, and the fascinating part was if it was a lightning flash, it'd be like a quick flash and that'd be it.
Yeah.
But you saw like a tiny little dot and then a flash. And then it did it again, another flash. But the thing is the dot into the tree line and it flashed. And it bathed the whole of the base. And it only did it 2 times, you see.
Yeah.
It's well, we're in the middle of we were in the middle of summer this time, and I'm like, clear sky, there's no cloud.
Yeah.
Where these flashes coming from? They're coming from the other side of the base in a tree. Because we saw this orb. It was literally like a little circle thingy. You could see it because it was bright enough for us to see it.
Yeah.
And then this massive, blinding, flashy, white light thing, it looked like lightning, and I'm like, crikey.
Yeah.
But it did it twice, and you sit, your wheel driving, was expecting the military to do something.
Yeah.
No action from the base.
You don't need to stand there, they'll be along in a minute.
Yeah. Come on, this is, obvious. Yeah. No action. And we were driving relatively slow, and Dad didn't see it, Mum saw it. We both saw it light. And the military base was just quiet. Nothing.
Interesting.
You would imagine, because they knew where they were, some sort of response. But and I was like, okay, that was cool and very interesting, but I was more like, well, there's no clouds, there's no lightning. I looked on the lightning tracker and went, no.
That's more questions than answers, isn't it? Because why were they not doing anything?
And why was
weather phenomenon or...
And then why was it flashing at 11 o'clock at night?
Unless someone was doing a sneaky with a very high-powered camera, not camera light. But then even then, why were the military not there?
Yeah. But also,
because they had cameras all over the place.
Yeah. You would have think they would caught onto that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But no, and I've only seen the lightning. That's the last time I've seen the lightning happen.
Wow.
I probably imagine if you speak to people who live in that forest, they probably would tell you, "Oh, that's what I say." I did actually this is when I was 12, and I actually had the courage to actually speak to a ranger.
Yeah.
I went past the pond in the Rendlesham Forest, and I was like, "Oh, there's a ranger there." So I kind of had the courage and kind of went back to him, and I do remember this, and I remember talking to him about it, and I was like, I actually was pretty blunt at the time. I'm not blunt now. I was then, and I said, like, do you see any UFOs in the forest? And he went, "Oh, you mean the circle orbs?" And I went, I didn't know what he meant by circle orbs. I went,
Yeah.
"Yeah, those things." He went, "Oh yeah, they're like a little, like an eyelid." Well, he said, "Yeah, I've seen them in the forest, seen them in the tree lines. They don't blink, but they just stand there." He said, "Yeah, I've seen weird things in the forest." He did briefly said like cryptoids. He didn't.
Yeah.
He kind of say Bigfoot, but he didn't kind of confirm it. He just went, "I've seen weird cryptoids and Bigfoot and that." He did say weird feelings, but that was pretty vague, from memory.
Yeah.
And he just said, "Yeah, he saw that orb." He said he's seen. He just the way he said it was like, "Yeah, I've seen really strange things in that forest. Things like exploding and just kind of like a firework going like that." And he says, "Yeah, but the very interesting part is that when they have radios, you see, in the forest, when the radio was going on, he just shut up. And he said, 'Well, I've got to do my things now,' but he did it in a very hurry way." I was like, "Oh." As soon as his radio went off, he kind of shut off the conversation. So I've got to do things because they're getting annoyed that I'm not doing. He said they're probably getting annoyed because I haven't done this part of the pond. That's the only thing what he kind of gave me. And I was like, "Well, what does he mean by a circle orb which winks at you?"
Yeah.
And it was only when I was, watching documentaries like, "Oh, he means what Colonel Holt saw."
That's interesting, isn't it?
I didn't know what he meant. I was like, "What do you mean by things exploding into the forest in like small little orbs? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by creepy beings? What do you mean by like seeing a Bigfoot? What do you mean seeing by cryptoids?" I think that because I was kind of new to it, didn't even watch anything, I did watch it, but very, only in high school I watched it.
Yeah.
And then when it was literally, when I was watching the video, I went, "Oh, he means what he saw Colonel Holt." And he means when it exploded, I was like, "Oh." But it just never kind of clicked with me. And I do remember that conversation, but I never talk about it, never boast about it, because I just don't want, because you hear people talk about it, they talk to rangers, but I don't want to kind of, it's not because I want fame in that, it's just that I am relying on memory, which was I was 12, and it's hit and miss, but I do remember those couple of things. But yeah, that was pretty amazing what he said to me.
They know so much. They really do.
They really do know a lot, and it's just like, trouble is that when I'm at the campsite, I'm probably gonna have to corner him and be like, "What happened in the forest?"
Yeah.
But they're very either cagey with you when you do try to ask. It's like, "Oh yeah, what happened in the forest? That's just probably a fake stage thing." So I'm not talking about the forest, I'm talking about what you saw in the forest. And it's like, they're very kind of like, not shushy, but kind of, don't want to speak.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, "Well, tell me, because I want to know." And I kind of given up asking them, but I might try again. They might talk to me about it, but it's pretty
Well, you're there for a week. I'm sure you can collar someone and say, "Excuse me."
With experience in the forest.
Yeah.
Because the campsite used to rent by someone. Interesting enough, the people who used to live there, they used to rent off the Forest of England.
All right.
And I do remember this part, that when we left, that it wasn't the national news, it was documented on some sort of forum.
Yeah.
They were experiencing things in their area, where they were in the forest part. They were experiencing interesting things, but the things that it didn't tell. The only thing it told us about was that, we've seen flashy like all things in the forest, but it didn't go into depth, and it left on the cliffhanger of we're seeing very strange things where we are in the forest and the campsites, really kind of scary kind of creatures. But that was it. And I'm like, I want more information.
Yeah.
But people were asking for more information, but they didn't even give us more information.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why are you not telling us? Is it because you're scared, or is it because...
I think they're under some sort of... they're under something.
Well, yeah, because you get, now and again, you'll get nippets, and it's but you can't poke the hole.
Yeah.
You get blocked. And they used to do maps of... I've got a UFO map of the forest. They don't do maps anymore. It's on your phone now.
Hold on, I'm going to be nosy, see if I can find the one I've got. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Why is it when you want something you can never find it? When you know it's there?
Yeah. I mean, I wrote the UFO trail, and there was one point it's called Track 5, which was basically the UFO used to come and then turn into the forest and then turn back out.
Yeah.
I never did it because I was like, I just want to go back on the trail, so I've had enough now. I wasn't interested when I was little. And it's on my map.
Yeah.
My trail thingy. I could grab it, things in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's now gone. Because on the new maps, it just goes, you come from the UFO statue, just go straight down and turn left into the campsite. But I was like, no, there was a thing where it used to go half into the forest, which was Trail 5.
Yeah.
And it was talking about something about an orb. No, it was something about blinding flashlight or something.
Similar to what you saw.
Yeah, it was on the UFO leaflet.
Yeah.
And it was talking about that in Track 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, where's Track 5 now? Because I've looked at that forest and I'm like, it used to be here, but they've moved the markers.
Yeah.
It's just now a straight... They've changed that track.
Yeah.
It's now just a straight track into the campsite.
Yeah.
Where's the Track 5? What used to go onto it? Where's that gone? Why has it been removed?
Yeah.
If you're doing forestry work and you cut felling trees, you would put it back up. But that's
I'm debating if they change the tracks, because obviously the UFO walk is famous. Let's say it as it is. A lot of people go there and do that UFO walk. I'm debating if they change tracks because there's too much energy going around, might stir something up.
Yeah, but I mean, the last time it was removed was probably 5 years ago. It was there, and this is when the forest wasn't, cut down.
Yeah,
it was cut. They were cutting things down, but where the track was, it was still. I still remember it being a forest because it's where Alex said. He said, "I was told this is do not." Was it ancient aliens or something like that? He was saying.
Yeah, he had that message, didn't he? Yeah.
Where he said it, where it used to be a forest, which is not a forest now because it's all cut. It's all cut down. He said there, and I said, and it's just clear. Yeah, that's where where Axe had his encounter, where it used to go into the forest, and that was known as track 5.
Isn't that also where he saw the black-eyed little girl?
Yeah, and I look at the map now and I went, track 5's gone.
Yeah.
It's on my map, on my year frame map.
Yeah.
Track 5. Actually, I'm going to me sitting here talking about it, I actually want to kind of physically show people.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a minute. I've just got to grab it.
Okay. Yeah, I find it quite interesting how they keep changing the routes around this forest. I personally think it's because so much energy is being given that they close those walks down and turn it somewhere else. That's got to be the reason, because no one understands why they change it.
Yeah, I should be more organised. Camera. So track 5. Where's track 5? There, track 5.
Yeah.
Not there now.
Hang on, I'm going to have to get my one. Hold on, I'm going to map you. Hold on.
Yeah, that really confuses me. Oh. Track 4's gone as well. Track 1 and track 2 is fine. Track 3 is fine. Track 1, 4's gone. What is track 4? What is track 4? Ah. Track 4. Ooh. Aha.
Okay, I have actually 2. I've got
that one.
That one. And I've got, do you know, this was under my seat. That's why I couldn't find it just a minute ago.
Oh,
and this one.
When you open it, right, and
that one.
That one where it says track 5.
Yeah, I've got track 5.
Read that, because I've just read that.
Is this the right one?
Yeah, and then when you flip it over, there's a part where it says track 5.
Yeah.
Which is not there anymore. Or part of that. And I was just reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a very interesting.
Oh, as you approach point 5.
Yeah. 0.5.
Yeah, 0.5. And we've got the little. I'm going to show the other map as well, because they've got like the orbs on this one. Then we switch it to the new map, which is that one. So they don't make these anymore then?
No.
Oh, we've got collector's items.
They stopped making this one.
Oh.
Which I'm really annoyed about.
Yeah.
So I was reading track 0.5, sorry, and it talks about an orb, and I'm like, okay. You talk about an orb.
There's nothing. There's no tracks on this one. It just gives you a map.
Yeah.
That's all it gives you.
Oh, it says it talks about track 0.5 about a woman and freezing and disturbance. Something about disturbance. I'm trying to read it, but I haven't got my glasses, but I'm just picking out parts of it.
It's got about one of the patrolmen involved in the search on the second night was to report that he was unable to move when he first come upon the craft.
Yeah, that's 0.5.
Yeah.
And then 0.4 talks about 0.4 and 0.5, which I'm kind of interested. Why is 0.5 not on the actual map now?
See, just not to sound bad, but this is the first time I've actually physically looked and read the map.
Oh, I read it.
I got it because when you go down places like this, when there's something famous attached to it, you think, oh, I'll take the map. And then you go down again, you notice it's a different map. You think, oh, it must be something different. So you pick it up. I've never actually read them. It's still in quite pristine condition, this one.
Well, mine is as well. But I'm fascinated why track 5, 0.5, sorry, and 0.4 is gone. Because it's in this one. Is it the new one?
No, they seem to have straightened it.
Why?
Hang on a minute, hang on, let me just... No, 4's gone, yep, you're right. And 5, they seem to have straightened, if you see what I'm saying by that.
Yeah, but 0.5, it's got interesting information about it. And I'm like, why have they removed it?
See, I was saying when you were collecting the map that I still reckon it's down to energies.
Yeah. Because it used to be, track 5 used to be covered in trees. It's not, sorry, 0.5 used to be covered in trees. It's not covered in trees anymore. But it's interesting that I can actually, with this map, figure out where it is in the field. I mean, forest. Yeah. But it's interesting that why is it those 2 points are not there anymore? They've just vanished.
Yeah, and they happen to be the most interesting ones.
Yeah. Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does. Well, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining the discussion today, Miles.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Yes, it is.
And hopefully have you back in the future as well.
Yes, definitely.
So thank you very much for watching, everybody, and we will see you again soon.
Bye.